Righto, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility this afternoon, this evening. Hello everyone and welcome to the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. It resembles a bit much of a swimming pool up here in the cherry picker about 10 feet up. It's a very important match today for both sides. Round number 8 of the NPL New South Wales Women's Premier League between the Newcastle Jets and the Gladesville Ravens. Ashley Borg here with Stephen Roberts, who is in all of his wet weather gear. He's got the camera under the umbrella, taped to about 2 dozen baseball bats, and as much gaffer tape as Bunnings will allow him to have this afternoon. It's one of the worst days I've ever seen for a sporting match. I hope you all enjoy the action today, because I can tell you now, we're standing on about 10 feet up in a cherry picker. It is about 17, 18 degrees here in Newcastle, and we've had about 65 millimetres of rain in the last 12 to 24 hours here in the region. It is absolutely horrible conditions for any sport. We're lucky we're on a synthetic pitch tonight, because this game would have absolutely almost have been called off, definitely been called off if that had happened. So we'll go through the team lineups, which I do have in front of me, and Sharpies and laminated paper is the go today for the Newcastle Jets. The 2 is India Breyer, 4 Sophie Howarth, 5 Isabella Threlfo, 6 Alexis Collins, 7 Kate Heap, 9 Emma Bates, 10 Layla Sharp, 11 Nava Crofton, 27 Chloe Willandau, 32 Claire Adams, and 50 Ellie Borsch, the keeper for the Gladesville Ravens, who sit just as low on the ladder as the Newcastle Jets. They're actually in 11th place at the moment on 5 points. Your goalkeeper in the 1, Eliza Coleman. 3, Annabelle Dashko. 5, Charlotte Wilford Carroll. 6, the skipper, Kimberly Davey. 8, Annie Halls. They're missing probably their best striker tonight, Claudia Shalakian. The 10, Lexi Marino. 11, Patricia Sharalambus. I reckon she'd be arguing with me for the title of best striker in the team. Number 23, Kesha Allen. 27, Alyssa Engsad, who scored 3 goals in 2 games last season for the Blacktown Spartans against the Jets. Number 42 is Alethea Levy, and 51 is Isabella Habuda, who has played all over the world. And when we get a chance, I'd love to share a bit of her story with you, because she is a very interesting character indeed. Well, just about all set for a start here. And it's going to be a very difficult evening to broadcast. Stephen's going to do all he can to make this experience for you as good as it can be. We may not have an umbrella in the next couple of minutes, the way things are going. And we're just about set for a start here at the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. And we're off and underway. Emma Bates will take the first touch and send it back to Heap. Goes to Threlfo, I believe, who's gone straight through to centre. The conditions tonight are going to be absolutely atrocious. The wind is going from left to right, and it's just going to make life absolutely hell for anyone that tries to play the football. And as Borsch has to scoot back really quickly here after an errant pass from Howarth. And the team that handles the conditions the best are going to win this game. I know it probably sounds like a bit of a oxymoron. It might sound a bit obvious, but it's about the best way I can describe tonight. These conditions are some of the worst I have ever seen for a sporting match. I've umpired AFL in hail and torrential rain, but when it's windy and the rain's going sideways, it just makes for a very tough evening. As Claire Adams gets it into Collins, who goes to Bates. I reckon she'll go off the left. No, to Breyer. And that's a good start from the Jets. Positive. They've come off a 3-3 draw against Apia Leichhardt that needs to be replayed. They've got to travel all the way back up the M1 to play 40 minutes of football because of lightning and thunder. And I tell you what, Gladesville may have to do the same if the storms start to happen here. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. I'll do my best to keep you all entertained with as many facts and figures as possible, but I can tell you it's extremely difficult to turn the pages here on my laminated notes, all attached with cable ties and personalised hole punches. It's just been a lot of fun this afternoon trying to prepare for this game. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, and Football New South Wales for providing us with the opportunity to do the job that I absolutely love the most, as Borsch has cleared that about 10 metres down the field, and that's all it's going to be today. It's going to be a real dogfight. The under-23s, which finished about 25 minutes ago, was a 4-3 win to the Jets over the Ravens in an absolute scrap. That's all I can describe it as. And Borsch had to just get that out of her feet. I think playing out of the back today, especially into this breeze, is going to have absolutely zero effect and might even be detrimental. Both these sides are sitting very low on the table as Wallandau now tries to take on Alyssa Engsad, who dives in and almost gets through. The referees let that go. Here's Emma Bates in an advanced position. Getting it out of her feet was Nava Crofton. Well played there was Layla Sharp in the 10. Breyer trying to go around Annie Halls. Wallandau now. This is the first clear possession that the Jets have had, and any sort of control from either side so far. Sharp. 1-2 with Collins. Sharp driving. Well defended, and this will be Dashko that'll get it away for the Gladesville Ravens, who 1 win, 2 draws this season for 5 points. The Jets have 1 win and 4 losses. A game to be replayed, and that'll give them 3 points at this stage. The only team below them is Sydney Olympic, who was soundly beaten last night and will remain rooted to the bottom of the table as Alyssa Ringsard does a magnificent job, and Borsch dives on that football. It's going to be very difficult for your keepers this evening as well. Don't know if playing out the back's going to be the best thing to do this evening, but the Jets are renowned for it. They play the way they play, and it's just how it's got to be for them, and they've turned it over here. Chance for the Ravens now to steady. This is Allen at left back, and the cheeky touch just hasn't worked. As you can see, the sheets of rain coming across Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility here. It's very, very difficult. As Borsch has quickly learnt, you've got to get rid of the football as quickly as you can. Here's Bates. Goes back to Borsch, and probably fortunate, I know, a lot of the numbers here for the Jets, having been their regular caller now for nearly 1.5 seasons. Only have to remember one other half of names. That's a great ball to Ringsard if it stays, but it's going to go dead. So gives us all a chance to breathe. It gives Stephen maybe a little bit of an opportunity to, I don't know, possibly put some more gaffer tape onto this umbrella that's attached to a baseball bat and attached to the pole. But this wind is unbelievable. It wasn't like this a few hours ago. If you look at a weather map on the Bureau of Meteorology, you'll probably see almost a cyclonic type system that just goes around in one big circle. That's what we're being faced with here this evening, as Claire Adams now gets a chance to travel. Breyer. Adams again. Bates, very advanced. Goes to Heap on the right. Playing a little bit of razzle-dazzle here. Cuts it back to Collins, who goes back to Bates. That was intelligent. Ball was good to Adams, who ran into the box and almost ghosted in. And we'll have a throw. That'll go to the Jets, who have had the lion's share of possession so far. If I get any opportunity, I will have a chat to you about some of the aspects of this game. The loser will almost put themselves out of any potential final spot. We're only in round 8. The gap between 8th and 9th at the moment is 5 points. So it's imperative that someone takes home 3 points this evening. 1 point's not going to be any good. As Habuda can't keep up with the football there. Isabella Habuda is an Ontario native who's played all around the world and was signed by the Western Sydney Wanderers 2020-2021, I believe. Great to see these players here, and you know what? This is why I love calling the Football New South Wales NPL Women's. Even if it was snowing and cyclonic, I reckon I'd still be here, and I reckon Stephen might be almost chained to the cherry picker with a camera. These are the best female footballers in New South Wales, possibly all over Australia, that we've got for you this evening. Games all over Sydney. There were a couple of games last night, a massive result in a match that looked to be, as you can see, a foul there to the Jets. Massive result last night between 2nd and 4th at North Turramurra. Northern Tigers demolished the Illawarra Stingrays 5-1. And if you go back over the YouTube clip, in the 16th minute, one of the goals of the season from Olivia Cartwright. Annabelle Banfield, the commentator, take a bow because it was magnificent, your call. It was wonderful to listen to and watch. Olivia Cartwright hit one from about probably 35 to 40 metres and hit the top bins. I'd say it's almost as good as the Anita Zordan goal that won Manly United the game here about 3 or 4 weeks ago. although I'm a little bit biased because I got to call it. So the Jets now just trying to work their way out. It's been a real feeling out process here for the first 5 or 10. I usually keep a watch on these things, but my phone's in my pocket, so you're going to have to rely on the YouTube clip here because I'm holding onto an umbrella. I've got one hand of notes and one hand on the umbrella. As Howarth almost gives away the goal kick, or the corner, sorry. And that one is just going to be harmless for Borsch. I think they just need to give away this play out from the back business in the wind here. They're playing into a very stiff breeze, the Jets, and one false move and they're going to be a goal down. They've negotiated it well so far. Collins shoots at the Briar, and Annie Halls is going to be way too quick. Landau. Nice touch there from Marino. Turns it over. And that was to Bry, who gets it back to Bates. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the first 10 minutes. It's been absolutely soaking wet here at Lake Macquarie. This heat gets onto it. Brings it in and cleared away eventually by Kesha Allen for a corner for the Jets. As I was about to say, I hope you're enjoying all the action here from Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. If you can see it, yeah, that's Stephen. It's almost fog-like conditions here with the rain just sheeting across. I don't even know how the girls are doing it, to be honest. They're doing a great job out there. Here's a big chase for the football now, Charalambus. I reckon we need to ask for a pay rise, Stephen, in these conditions. Unbelievable stuff. I'm just worried about that umbrella going a mile out of the football facility here. It's as windy and as wet as I've ever seen for a sporting match. Well turned, and Adams probably should have fouled. That's a long ranger from Charlotte Wilford Carroll, the New Zealand under-17, former New Zealand under-17 international. She's a little bit beyond that now. That's being very respectful to her indeed. It don't give away the age of too many of their more experienced females. So the Ravens now, they're with the breeze. You'd think it might be a little bit easier, but they're making a bit of tough work out of here. As this is a great drive. This is Collins on the drive. Bates, I reckon she should have a go with that left. Briar out to Orlando. Probably not the best move, and they clear it away. And a clearance like that's going to be very dangerous as Ingsad tries to get it. And that ball's going to go back to Ali Borsch as quick as a bullet pass, really. It was only just a side foot. The wind really carried it. Well, Landau screaming for it here, close to us. Nothing doing at this stage. Low driving ball. Not controlled. Adams. Heap now. In the middle is Sharp. This is Collins driving it. Keeper had to go very, very wide and high and try to put a hand to it. And I think it's gone out for a corner. Absolutely has. Can bear with Stephen and I because it is very difficult to see out here, and we'll do our best. As I said, the car park's blocked at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. It's underwater. This ball comes in. Briar just needs to control it. She's got plenty of time now. She can go all the way back to Borsch if she wants, but she squares to Orlando. Back to my self-named Raging Cajun in Emma Bates, and then it comes all the way back to Threlfo on Heap, who's widest runner. They look like to have switched places there. Bates with plenty of time now, the left footer who goes to Orlando. That's a wonderful ball. Comes off feet. Oh, I thought Collins was going to be the beneficiary then, but it just slipped past her. Chasing onto this football now is Isabella Habuda, and the Ravens are feeding off scraps at the moment here. Newcastle Jets are handling the conditions a lot better so far. They're playing with a very strong, they're playing into a very strong left to right breeze. And they're clearly kicking into the breeze. If you're an AFL fan, I reckon it's a 6-goal wind as Willandau tries to go up the middle. And that one's going to be very harmlessly kicked back to Ali Borsch, who struggled to get that on the knees then. Howarth now. Heap's gone back to her traditional right-sided position there. If I get a chance to turn my notes over, I can give you a few fun facts and figures, but we'll just call the action for now. The radar that I looked at about 10 minutes before the game was showing me that the rain was going to dissipate just slightly. Hopefully you can actually see what's happening here. Shara Lambus had no chance, and she's quick. You can see on your screen that is just one unbelievable amount of rain. It is just going sideways. Sharp here, turns. Adams. Collins flying into the box. Hits her late. Cleared away, and Bates struggled with that one. I reckon Borsch could have come out here and easily got it, but Habuda's going to pick this up about 2 or 3 metres from the corner flag. Tries to take on an opponent. Looks like Howarth, and Howarth did well. She gave that up, Habuda, and I reckon she should have fought for it a little bit harder. Don't blame her in the conditions, though. They're atrocious. Borsch, Howarth. Sorry for the constant wiping of the camera there. I don't blame Stephen. He's got to look after his equipment and give you the best possible pictures also. I'm not going to tell you how many minutes are on because I have no idea. I'll try and get the phone out in a second and tell you. The scoreboard's not operating because they don't dare turn it on in these conditions. We were supposed to have Junior Development League football here as well on the backfields, but they've called those off as a cross comes in, and Borsch handles that very well. Any catch is a good catch in these conditions, I can tell you that. Just had to adjust the headset there quickly as Stephen hangs onto the umbrella. Almost needed a groupie today, Stephen and I, just someone to hold the umbrella. As Collins turns sharply, does that well. And that's probably not the smartest ball to play in these conditions. Almost went backwards to Isabella Threlfo there. And probably not a good ball to go the high long ball in these conditions. It'd be interesting to see how Emma Bates features in the second half with the breeze, because this breeze is very stiff. Willandau against her opposite number in Alyssa Ingsard. Takes her on, does well. Ingsard sticks to the task. Bates on the retrieve. Penning them in at the moment, the Jets, but they just haven't made a lot of headway in terms of shots on goal. It's one of those evenings where I think one goal might be enough if they can get it on target as Ingsard tries to press. Willandau's got space here, and if she goes on further, Sharp or Adams that might be. I think it's Adams. This is Collins, who's a long way up the field. Is that ball going to get there? It does. Ball back to Collins. Actually, it's Adams. Adams can turn it, shoots! Good save, Coleman. Liza Coleman, that's going to go all the way to Borsch, I'd say. No, that'll drop in for Adams. There's another good ball here to Collins. Short ball to Bry might do the trick. Bry runs in. Open goal opportunity. And the defending was just spot on there by Annabelle Dashko. Stays 0-0, but it could have easily been 1. Jets dominating here at Lake Macquarie. Gladesville still trying to work the conditions out, and I don't blame them. We're still trying to work them out up here. Just going to have a cheeky check of the watch then, but see if we can get a little bit less wind and we might be able to not have to hold the umbrella. So 20 minutes in so far, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're enjoying all the action here on the Football New South Wales YouTube page, as that ball was very cheekily driven in. Adams. A few skills to get past Annie Halls. Heap now drives it through to Collins, but it's well cut out, and that's from Allen. And Bry sees it out. Bry normally plays on the left-hand side close to the commentary box here. She's playing on the right-hand side today. You can see in those pink boots, they're quite unmistakable. Don't miss her too often, so a bit of a change in formation here by Ryan Campbell. Well cut out, Landau. That was a tough challenge. We don't have a 42, so I've got no idea who that is. Collins hits the side netting. Actually, we do have a 42. It's Alethea Levy. That's how confused we are here in the box. I've got numbers that are being covered by shadows. Should have almost gone with the bright coloured yellow paper here. So the Jets have had about 2 or 3 meaningful strikes now and had some warning shots. The Gladesville Ravens hanging on. Great turn, Adams. Left Alyssa Engsard in her wake. This is Collins now. Take the shot, Collins, and Coleman will handle that very easily against the breeze. The wind taking the sting out of that shot. They're definitely firing some warning signs now. Picked off now, Alyssa Engsard on the right-hand side, Shara Lambus lurking, and my goodness, Alyssa Engsard's got some speed. That ball was travelling. Remember her last season, she scored 2 goals in a 6-1 rout for the Blacktown Spartans against the Jets here at Lake Macquarie. That's when they were known as the Emerging Jets. And you thought at that point, the Emerging Jets were in a lot of trouble, but then Blacktown Spartans, they had a very poor run of form towards the end of the season, were overtaken and ended up getting relegated. And quite a few of these Gladesville players come from the Blacktown Spartans, not just this year, as Landau's very free here on the left if they get it to her. Great ball from Bates. Landau now keeps it at her feet and keeps it close. Gets past Halls. Landau still going. Taken at the feet by Sharp. Can she get past? The defence crowded her. And absolutely swarmed her at the right time, the defence. And they're standing up here, Charlotte, Wilford, Carroll and Dashko at this stage. Possibly a more experienced attack, and it could be 1-0. The Jets are playing well. It's a much better start to this game for the Jets than it was a couple of weeks ago here against the Illawarra Stingrays when they were absolutely thrashed. Absolutely thrashed, and it's only one way I can put it. It was not a Jets performance that we've seen this year. It was very un-Jets-like. They conceded early and they just continued to leak. The hat-trick to Siobhan Edwards was the end result, and she'll enjoy one of the Newcastle Jets game balls on her mantelpiece. This is Alexis Collins. Goes inside to Breyer. Adams in the box here. Breyer takes the strike. Goodness, that goes in. That's one of the worldies. So I said before, last night they played at North Turramurra, and in rain similar to this, Olivia Cartwright hit one of the goals of the season in a 5-1 thrashing. Northern Tigers defeated the Stingrays, and also last night, Northwestern Sydney Spirit gave Sydney Olympic a 5-star beating them 5-1. Sydney Olympic on the bottom of the table, and they're rooted to the bottom at the moment. And there's a foul on the Jets. So at the moment, Mount Druitt Town Rangers, the promoted side, top of the ladder. 5 wins, 2 draws, 17 points. Northern Tigers sit on 16, and then 2 sides on 15. That will be Manly United and Illawarra. And the top 5 are rounded out by the Western Sydney Wanderers, who are on 13, and it's their first year in the competition also. So it's great to see the newer teams doing so well as Bryde drives that in. Opportunity, Adams on the turn. Good defensive block. Adams has another opportunity here, and they're at 6s and 7s, the Ravens in defence. Jets can't make them pay at the moment. It's still 0-0. They're holding on. Navacrofton. Bates puts on the brakes and then goes back wide to Willandale. Willandale and Breyer are absolutely tearing this game apart at this point in time. They just can't make it count on the scoreboard. Touch wasn't bad and ended up with Dashko. Here's Engsard, who goes, look, if you hit it at least 1 metre either side of me, I'm never getting it in these conditions. The ball just running so quickly. So you can hear, I don't know if you can hear this in the effects, Mike, but I'm sure you can. The wind is absolutely howling here. It's almost got to be gale force, surely. Hopefully the weather pattern's right and we get rid of these rainy conditions. We've almost gotten rid of the rain, actually. It's just the wind we're dealing with now here at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. We're about 100 metres from the actual lake here. I reckon the amount of rain we've had today, we're probably about 50 metres from it now. Could almost put swimming ropes out and have a carnival out here. Here go the Ravens now. Long base shot, and Borsch mishandled. I reckon Engsard could have gone a little harder at the chase then, and she would have been on. That was a shot there by Habuda, I'm pretty sure. No, it was Lexi Marino. Love to be able to give you a bit more information about these Gladesville Ravens players. There's some very interesting names and some very good resumes in this team. It's just at the moment I've got one hand on an umbrella trying to keep it holding still, and one hand on the team sheet. So once I get a chance, I'll definitely make sure I promote some of these Gladesville Ravens girls. There's some great names out there. New Zealand under-17 international in Charlotte Wilford Carroll. Shara Lambus has played in the A-League. Also a couple of others. Engsard. Habuda's been signed to the A-League before. It's just terrific that this is what we get to witness on the Football New South Wales YouTube page, NPL New South Wales Women's. Howarth now being put under pressure by Marino, and she does that calmly to Throlfo, who she's got an unmistakable wind-up. This will be quick if they can get the ball through now. Comes through, and not a good pass there by Collins, and Ryan Campbell won't be happy with that as the rain sheets down again. I just thought we were done with the rain, but the big man upstairs has other ideas. Corner to Newcastle. I hope you can see through this, ladies and gentlemen, because I can tell you it's very difficult to do so. Emma Bates to take it. Sharp tried to get it. Marino now trying to walk her way out. Landau at the last line. Calling for handball. Ref says no. Ref said yes. like to thank I will thank him in a sec, as the Ravens travel down here now. Square ball, Crofton intervenes, challenge in the box, ref's got a decision to make. Charalambous, back and across, that was a big hit, and all Borsch could do was put that over the bar. That's the first shot, first meaningful shot here by the Gladesville Ravens, and it's a corner for them. And why not try that shot? That was Alethea Levy. So Gladesville with the corner. Have a look at the wind, and tell you what, if you're someone that likes a bet, the Olympico's a good option here. Ball comes in. That was well cleared away. Another corner. That top right-hand corner, or that top corner on your screen, if you've got any sort of ability to curl a ball in off a corner, I'd be going for the Olympico today. It's one that you could very, very quite get. I remember Kyra Cooney Cross for the Melbourne Victory scoring a Olympico in a grand final. And been lucky enough to call a few myself at local level as the corner comes in, and that one is well over the bar. That was Charalambous with the corner, I'm pretty certain. And the threat subsides for now. But the rain certainly hasn't. Short ball, and Ingsard almost got it. Sends a teammate on her way now to Swallandau. Adams tried the touch, got it through in the end. Collins needs to feed and didn't. Should have fed it earlier. Poor ball. This is now Bates. Adams needs to feed it. There was a real chance there if she did. And the Ravens trying their luck again, as cleared expertly away there. I believe that was Halls. Howarth. I reckon she should just let this run out. Don't play it back. She does. Puts Borsch under all sorts of pressure. That was not a good play there by House. She should have just let that run. Charalambous now will chase this ball down and be supported by Wilfred Carroll. They go back to Marino now. Here's an opportunity for some possession. Ball is very well put in. Header away was classy. Try the shot. That's a great shot! That is a magnificent shot! Charlotte Wilfred Carroll with a worldie. That was from absolutely nothing. The Ravens haven't put much up in attack at all. Charlotte Wilfred Carroll saw the ball bouncing forward shieldlessly for her, put the left foot through it and just went bang. 1-0 to the Ravens here at Lake Macquarie. 32 minutes gone. We're not sure if we've got it through for you on screen, to be honest. Just the conditions have been horrible. Well, hopefully we did, because that one was a spectacular finish. The Jets are stunned. Don't know what else to say. That was just some sort of hit from Charlotte Wilfred Carroll. I think she must have seen Olivia Cartwright's goal last night and said, anything you could do, I could do it better. That was just marvellous. The Jets have to recover now. Throlfo. Heap. Bates got it all the way across, and it'll be a throw into the Newcastle Jets side, who, for mine, to be honest, don't deserve to be behind, but they are. And that's football at this level. Crofton waiting for a throw-in that she's not going to get. Well, played away by Halls. Crofton. Getting in between it here is Levy with the sleeves pulled up. Ref said play on. Collins gets the ball through, but it's a slow pass. And that's to Bates to Crofton. Playing it well along the deck. That's a lovely touch. Needs to go first time. Adams puts it over the bar. That could have been 1-1. Could see Adams open herself up for the shot. Just couldn't get it to come down. Just about took my own headset off there for a sec. Trying to keep it dry. I don't know what effect this rain's going to have on it. And that ball's going to go over the head of Marino. Well, if you've just tuned in, the score's 1-0. The conditions are deplorable. And the Jets probably still haven't worked out how they're behind. It was a spectacular strike from Charlotte Wilford Carroll. Pretty sure that was her first goal of the season too, Charlotte. Well, they're playing the right way, the Jets. They're keeping it along the ground. Here's Collins. Sharp's in the middle, and hanging out the back is Breyer if she can get it to her. Ball comes in and Marino clears, and they've been able to do that because the Jets are not quick enough in releasing that ball forward. And a referee's paid a free kick here to Gladesville. "36th minute of this contest." Hope you're enjoying all of this because it's been a real bits of everything, really. It's been a real licorice all sorts, hasn't it? The conditions are unbelievably bad. The wind's playing havoc with the players. The rain is sheeting across the field. Moreno's going to take a strike. I think the Gladesville Ravens have worked out that if you can take the long shot, you might be a chance. Just as Charlotte Wilford Carroll was about 5 minutes ago. 32nd minute it was. And if the crowd weren't inside the confines of the facility, you would have heard the yelling and screaming from the Ravens fans, I'm sure, as they try to play this out again, the Jets, and they do so successfully, but Halls intervenes. That was Levy to Charalambous. Someone needs to try and control this. It's very difficult. Marino now. Marino gets it in and Borsch just handles it. I thought it was going to slip out the bottom there. Didn't look comfortable, but she got there. And Breyer has just let herself down a little bit. You don't blame the girls in these conditions, mind you. I know if it were me out there, I probably would have walked off by now. To be perfectly honest. It is so wet. As I said before, we've had the Newcastle region has had 65 millimetres of rain in 12 to 24 hour period. Since the rain started. It started raining in this region at about 11:30 to midnight last night. I think that little tarp that we had there might have just disconnected itself. With the just a little bit there, we had a little bit of a tarp there. So yeah, 65 millimetres of rain as Ingsard puts pressure on Howarth. And it's just this constant need to play up from the back from the Jets. It's going to get them unstuck. A one goal at the break's not too bad, I'd say. But 2 and 3 goals, they may put their heads down, and they don't want to do that. Today's a day that they can get 3 points. They can come back. The Ravens' defence has been their huge making so far as Marino goes out to Charalambous and puts a great ball into Ingsard. At the back here is Dashko. Dashko tap in. And the Ravens have come to life here at Lake Macquarie, and all of a sudden it's 2-0. a wonderful square ball back from Dashko. And brilliantly finished off. I think it might have been Isabella Habuda that finished it. So I'll credit that to her, and I'll go back through the replay at half time, because I can tell you the conditions are horrible. So it's 2-0. And the time of the goal is 39 minutes. So 2 goals in 7 minutes here for the Ravens as Ingsard grows another leg and tried to get that, but the wind was too strong. Well, just one of those things. The Ravens are very good at making teams pay, and they've been pretty unlucky, I reckon, this year. I know that one of the articles I read on the Football New South Wales page as I was preparing for this game talked about them not taking flight, but they've only been beaten by 1 goal every game. They're a bit like my English Premier League side, Tottenham Hotspur. They keep losing games, but they only lose them by 1 goal, and at some point it's got to click for them, although Tottenham, it hasn't clicked all year, to be perfectly fair. So Breyer takes a long shot. Coleman on the slippery surface does very well, Elijah Coleman. And I thought when I saw the lineups this afternoon or this evening, about 20 minutes before the game, and didn't see Claudia Shalaki and the Armenian international on the lineup, I thought maybe the Ravens might have been a little bit short on forwards, but they've done very well so far. Habuda, I'm going to say Habuda scored it, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. It was a difficult one to see with the rain, as Throlfo now has time and decides to travel. Bates on the left, Sharp in the middle, and creeping in there now is Adams. Breyer, I reckon, oh, that's not a good ball to her. Adams now tries to manipulate her way through. Emma Bates slips over. Actually, it might have been Crofton. Howarth lets it go to the sideline. Might be having some technical issues here if you're struggling to see what's happening. And that's Isabella Habuda offside. So it's 2-0 here, 2 goals in 7 minutes. Or it might have been 6, I'd say, 2 in 6. 32nd and 39th minutes. Jets now. Collins goes across the field. That's an intelligent ball, heaps onto it. Breyer overlaps. Not good enough there from Kate Heap. Too short on the ball. And it goes out of play. As I was saying before, the Ravens have only lost by 1 goal in every game. So they're being quite unlucky to be in the position they are. And it was only going to be a matter of time until things open up for them, as for some unknown reason here, they've got a little bit less rain. Collins now onto it, Sharp in the middle. Collins now tries to take on the opponent, and they've all swarmed back. Here's Heap now, first time shot, very tame. So the Jets have got Marnie Duggan, Alia Kilroy, Lily Rose Dunbar, and Julian Fox on the bench, and Annika Driscoll, the 14-year-old, in the number 77. We'll look forward to seeing her at some point. She is very, very much electric. And Kaylee Shannon in a 17, Natalie Sproul Sarah Passafaro, 35, 13 Brianna Bacchini, and Chiara Bonora in 25. Molly Ewer in 44 of the substitutes for Gladesville. Well, probably freezing on the bench over there on the far side of the field. Be itching to get on as Bates goes short. A few little clever touches, ends up with Heap on the outside, formerly of New Lambton. Dobson. Not a good pass, but she'll get an opportunity, a second bite at it. Collins tried to play the ball over the top of Wilfred Carroll. And trying to keep that in, no success there was Lexi Moreno. So we're just about ticked over to the 45 minutes here now. About half a minute to go until the referee can decide how much time's left. So let's just hope he decides that we could go to the sheds early. At the moment, it's 2-0. And this is a turnover. It could possibly be 3 here. Good ball. Nice and intelligent there from Habuda. Marino cuts it out wide to Shara Lambus. Coming in late was Dashko. Shooting on target, or trying to, was Moreno, and Lexi Moreno puts it very wide. So we're on the 45 minutes now. It's the referee's decision how long we're out here. The rain and the wind have contributed to the entertainment this evening. The players have had a lot of trouble trying to get the football at their feet, but they've started to master the conditions now. And you can see why these players are at the top echelon of New South Wales football. Very skilled players. A lot of confidence. And that's half time here at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Goals to Charlotte Wilfred Carroll and I believe Isabella Habuda. 32nd and 39th minute sees a scoreline of 2-0 to the Ravens. We'll be back after an extended break with the second half. Can the Jets come back, or will the Ravens make it 2 wins for the season? Welcome back to the Lake Macquarie football facility here in Newcastle. We've had nearly 70 millimetres of rain and we're back for the second half here in the NPL New South Wales Women's Round 8 clash between Newcastle Jets and the Gladesville Ravens. Ashley Borg here with Stephen Roberts, and the scoreline is 2-0 in favour of the Ravens. Two very, very good goals. The first one was a worldie from Charlotte Wilford Carroll in the 32nd minute, and we have to apologise because it's been raining that hard that the cameras had to get wiped, and at the exact time it got wiped, the ball ended up in the back of the net. So we do have to apologise for that, but I can guarantee it was a terrific goal, and it would be one of the best goals you'll see this weekend if you didn't have a cloth in front of a camera. Ashley Borg here with Stephen Roberts. He's doing a wonderful job, Stephen. I tell you, the conditions are absolutely atrocious here. As I said at the start of the start of the second period interval, and Collins could be on the ball here. She spills it and it's back in the net! Oh, that is an absolute catastrophe for Eliza Coleman. And it's 2-1, 48 minutes, possibly 47. That is absolute disaster for the Ravens. I can't even tell you who to give the goal to. So 47 minutes and it is 2-1 in favour of the Ravens, but the Jets have hit back, and that is exactly what Ryan Campbell needed. I'm at a loss to describe it, to be honest. It was just a ball that trickled back in, and Eliza Coleman spilt it. I don't even know if we got it. So we'll have to come back to the action here. It is a near on impossible evening to film a football match. Stephen's doing an unbelievable job. So the ball's come in, I've just watched it on replay, and it's just been spilt. That's about as best as I can describe it for you. Anyhow, it is 2-1 in favour of the Ravens, and we've just played 48 minutes in this contest here at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. I actually don't know who to credit the golf to. So we'll keep having to play. And Ravens now, they're going to have to learn to play these conditions well, otherwise they may be shell-shocked. Just as the Jets were in that period of 6 to 7 minutes when Isabella Habuda and Charlotte Wilford Carroll struck. I've got water all over my glasses. I might need the the towel or the cloth. We're going to brave these conditions. I teach my kids, you start something and you finish it. We're definitely going to do that here this evening. We're going to make it, and we're going to get home safely. And I think my biggest concerns for the Gladesville Ravens girls, actually, they've got to travel possibly 2 and a bit hours down the M1, and these conditions are not the best. Wondering when safety of the individual goes over the safety of the integrity of the football match, to be honest. But you know what? These two sides have done very well to get a game going. And I only learned recently that 60 minutes constitutes a match in football New South Wales. So as long as we get to the 60, we'll be okay. The Jets played Apia Leichhardt last weekend, and they had to finish that game due to thunderstorms and lightning. As now we see the ball coming in here from the Ravens, chasing it down. Did a very good job there. I think that was Habuda to chase it. Chip back over, and that was Alyssa Ingsard. So the Jets, they were 3-1 up and a player up against Apia Leichhardt and imploded with within the space of 5 minutes, or 3 minutes actually, and RPL levelled at 3-3. And then straight after the strike to get 3-3, lightning struck and they never went back on the field. So now they've got to travel back down the M In the 48th minute, as that ball's going back and over. And now a chance for Alyssa Ingsard, who's got some space. She scored 3 goals in 2 games against the Jets, but Bosch gets in front. So here's Adams on the ball now, just breezing past Halls, using her speed and bringing the ball across now to Breyer, who's chasing that down at the rate of knots. Can she keep it in, Breyer? The assistant referee says no. And that'll be a goal kick to Gladesville. 2 goals to 1 the score. You can just see the rain just going straight across the field, and the breeze is left to right. And Eliza Coleman's telling her to push up. She's going to put her foot through this football, actually. No, she'll give it to a teammate who's going to put her foot through the football. And it's about as far as they can clear it at this stage. And anywhere will do. This is Habuda. Habuda taking on the opponent here. Takes it to the left-hand side. Bosch with a good save. And then she pounces on the football. All her might, she gets that eventually. They look like they're handling these conditions pretty well, Newcastle. Ravens starting to get in the groove now. They'll capitalise as Shara Lambus. She's quick, but not that quick. This is where Emma Bates might be dangerous. Her long ball ability might be something that the Jets can exploit here, as Collins pretty much just gives up on that one, and you don't blame her. That's a very difficult ball to take. Now the chill and the wind has picked up again here at Lake Macquarie, and I can tell you, it's absolutely freezing up here. My wife, if she's watching, she'll go, I told you to wear pants and not shorts. I'm usually here with shorts and a pair of slides, but decided to wear actual shoes today. Such is the nature of it. I didn't want to have to climb up the cherry picker in a wet, freezing condition, a wet, windy conditions as heap. Plays it back, and this will be Threlfo here. He's got time. Feeds a slippery little ground ball that is intercepted by the Ravens, and Shara Lambus tried to go back to a teammate there who went to feed it. That was Wilfred Carroll, who might nickname her Charlotte Worldy Carroll, because that goal was an absolute worldie. Adams, good control, good close control. Crofton, Bates has to hurry back. Crofton will get it again and play it back to Threlfo, who, if I have to pick one of the Newcastle Jets players to target, it would be her. She's not as comfortable as the others on the ball, but she is great in defence. Terrific last line player. As the rain has gone through my laminated notes, it's unbelievable. That'll be through the little holes that I've had to make in the hole punch there to try and get the cable ties in to secure it. But we've done the job. It's done the job this evening. Shara Lambus, nice close control. That should have been a foul, and play on, says the ref. Referees just let a lot go this evening, and you don't blame them. They want to get off the pitch too, I'd suggest. That ball has taken a 90-degree turn, and Gladesville player then just struggled under the conditions. That was Wilfred Carroll. Didn't struggle when she hit the goal, that was for sure. That was a brilliant strike. She was about 25 metres out, unleashed off the left foot, and it never looked like missing. Heap. Crofton. It's very crowded here. You can see not much space to play with. Now they exploit. Here's Heap now. Sharp's in the middle, and Bry's on the far post if she can get it to them. A bit too slow, Heap, but Crofton goes first time. That's not a bad effort. Well defended by Dashko, who put in the cross for the second goal. Substitution. I think it's going to be a goalkeeping substitution. Ali Borsch comes off and Lily Rose Dunbar comes on. That'll be Lily Rose in the 20. Odd substitution, but it's definitely in the plan, I'd say. They obviously manage the minutes of the keepers, and it's part of the academy to do that here at Newcastle. As over the top goes Habuda. Alyssa Ringsard does beautifully to get around the defender. She's 2-on-1 here. Alyssa Ringsard has space, and Lily Rose Dunbar's first task is to take it with two hands and release it. The defender puts her under pressure here. Crofton. This is Habuda. Jets players now, they need to steady. Oh, big slip. Hope she's okay. Even though this is a synthetic pitch, the water, you start to wonder where the water seeps down to be honest. It's very well designed. Great turn, Collins. Could go wide here. Breyer. Sharp is steaming through, and Breyer, I took my eyes off it just for a second and she just miscontrolled it. Former premiership winner with the MacArthur Rams. India Bright scored the first goal of the season for the Jets too, with a penalty against the Tigers in a 2-1 loss, with Hayley Johnson, the Victorian recruit from the Preston Lions, scoring a double. She's actually on top of the goal scoring this year, Hayley Johnson, with 6. So you heard it here first at Lake Macquarie that Hayley Johnson was going to do something special this year. Can't take credit for her success, but I can take credit for telling you that she was going to be someone that would be dangerous in front of the goals. Bry now, better control from her. You can hear the voices and the talk from both sides there. They know there's a game on here. Control was lacking. Habuda. Howarth put the foot in. Moreno. And Nava Crofton, she just went non-conventional. Don't worry about the coaching book from Ryan Campbell. Put the foot through it and put it out. '65th minute here at Lake Macquarie. Hope you're enjoying all the action from the NPL New South Wales women's competition. As it's 3-on-2 here if they can get through. This is a great run. The ball was perfect. Shara Lambus just needs to finish, and it got away from her. Opportunity Dashko. Now the Jets, they might have a chance to go. Ball, not great. Players slipping and sliding everywhere here on the surface. Wilfred Carroll travels. Runs into a pocket. Back to the teammate Keisha Allen. Lily Rose Dunbar. They're frustrated, the Ravens. They're getting chances, but they're not taking them. Bates. Heat back to Threlfo. Just trying to listen into what's being said here. And that ball, I reckon that's just going to be too heavy again. I wouldn't even bother keeping it in, but I think they must have thought, the Ravens must have thought it was off them. So Wilfred Carroll mishandles it. Bates gets it across to Dobson. Breyer. That's a terrific ball. Willandow, oh, too heavy on the touch, Chloe. Willandow, and that could have been 2-all. It's just the little moments in these games, and they make a big difference. The Ravens took their chances. The Jets haven't taken theirs this evening, and that's why they're behind. It's not through a lack of gameplay. They've been just as good as the Ravens, if not better. Got to take your chances in front of goal. Chloe Willandow's touch is just way too heavy there. Streaming down the side there was Collins. Square ball cut out expertly by Wilfred Carroll, and she takes it up. Shara Lambus to the left. And she's going to take a shot on her own here, Wilfred Carroll, and she almost went for a second worldie in the space of the same game. That would have been something very special from Wilfred Carroll.
Good save by Dunbar. So Lily Rose Dunbar is the only substitution in his match so far, as the rain teams down here at Lake Macquarie, and the little blue tarp we're using to cover the Cameron Stevens equipment is flapping in my face with the water coming off it at a rate of knots. So conditions are definitely not ideal, and as Stephen just said, if you don't laugh, you cry in these scenarios, or you just get very wet. Either way, we're here to do a job and we love what we do. So ball down the right hand side. Chris McPherson, if you're watching, mate, don't you laugh at us, fella, because I'm sure you would have been in a similar scenario last year, mate. As Collins now, that's not badly controlled. Sharp's shooting forward, and Collins, I reckon she was fouled then, and there could be a yellow come out here. That was definitely definitely a pullback there, and referees just let that one go into the warning and stage. Underneath us, we've got a statistician underneath us, and it's amazing. He's sitting on a little beach chair and he's got a tarp underneath him, and I reckon he's got the best seat in the house, just quietly. And he's got a hole in the tarp to see it. So 69 minutes into this contest now. I've got about 21 minutes remaining until the end. Bates might take a direct one here. That was actually quite clever, because the bounce of the ball could go anywhere. He pushed off it, and it's a corner to Newcastle. So Bates, the left footer, would not put it against her to have a go at the far post with an Olympico here. I know I've said it twice, but it can happen with this breeze, and she's got the technique. Bates brings it in. That was lovely, and that ball's gone over the bar. Unfortunate there for the Jets. Another chance goes begging. I think that was Isabella Threlfo that put it over the bar. Sure was, in the number 5. So it stays Ravens 2, Jets 1. It's been a great game considering the terrible conditions they're playing under. The ladies are doing a fantastic job, and fair play to them. Lauren Phelps and Ryan Campbell, I know the conditions are tough. You've got to be proud of your girls tonight. It's been an absolutely tremendous effort from both sides, and my hat goes off to them, or my hoodie does anyway. This is the best conditions we've had at the moment. No rain. It's gone away for about 30 seconds anyway. And we don't have any more umbrellas to contend with, because we got rid of that at half time. Just got to contend with a lot of wind and the possibility we might get blown off this cherry picker. Might have been a substitution, I'm not sure, but don't have my binoculars with me tonight because there's just no point really. So we'll try and pick it up as we go along, and we'll go from there. See what's doing in the new stakes. And 17 is Kaylee Shannon, who's come onto the ground for the Ravens. Just dashing up and down the field at a rate of knots. You can see the energy into it, that's for sure. Got the energy of someone that hasn't been on the park. There's Kaylee Shannon, 1 goal this season in first grade from Hills United. She scored 25 out of 26 games last year, and they're screaming for a foul. Collins gets in between them, and they're still complaining to the ref, and the ref says, just play on, girls. I've paid hardly any fouls this evening. I'm not paying one now, unless it's plainly obvious. And the Ravens they're disgusted. As I was saying, Kaylee Shannon in the 17, she's come onto the field here as a sub. Last season, she scored 25 goals in 26 games for Hills United in League One. So definitely a talent and definitely a danger for the Jets. And what is this phenomenon that we're observing here at Lake Macquarie? The rain has almost gone. Let's not jinx it right now. So we're still continuing this great football game, and wonderful Turd Adams. She's going to have a go herself. Luck may be a fortune here for Heap, who gets onto the football.
Tracked well by Cheryl Ambus. Bates may have a go from here. That's beautifully cut out. Wilfred Carroll did a great job, I'm pretty sure that was. And thwarted any danger there. Cheryl Ambus in the backfield, not where she'd like to be. Wonderful long ball in these conditions. That is superb. This could be 3-1. And bounce of the ball just didn't sit right there for Shannon. It was Kaylee Shannon who pounced on it. Cheryl Ambus's long ball was superb. It's probably the best long ball we've seen this evening in these windy conditions. Throw in to the Ravens, who've definitely played their part in this contest. Their 2 goals have set up this lead. That should be a foul. Ref says free kick Ravens. Well, to be fair to this referee, hasn't really intervened much, so you know, when they've decided to intervene, you've got to respect the call. 75 minutes so far in this contest. We've got 15 to go. Free kick to the Ravens. Dangerous position. Just trying to see who's over this football here. Can't quite see it, unfortunately. Patricia Cheryl Ambus is in a dangerous position there, and not one Jets player's marked her. If they go short to her, she's got time to strike it. We'll see if the ball comes in. It might go a long ball into the box here, into the mixer. 3-1 might be a difficult one here for the Jets if they concede it. Referee talking to the players in the box there. Pushed out a little bit. Dunbar not great on the high ball. Tried to go short and defeat her on the near post, and that was money for Jam. Just something about Dunbar that I did notice over last year, that those long ball, high balls are the thing that she struggled with. Might have been better to put that in the mixer. Threlfo went to Houth, back to Threlfo. Adams has been terrific this evening. Lovely turn. Distribution superb. Wallandow breezes past Shannon. Collins is flying into the box. Ball just wasn't there. And apart from that mistake from Coleman, she's been rock solid this evening. We're into the 75th minute now. So that one's going to hold up. Just my maths might have been out of whack. 73 minutes when I had it. So 75 minutes gone now. Emma Bates onto the ball. 2-1 the Ravens. Adams is streaking into the box. They've got to get it to her quicker. Great skill. Breyer comes across. Heap now. She might take a strike. Drives into the box. Crosses back. And is that a corner? No, the ref says. Coleman handles it well in the end. So 15 minutes remaining here at Lake Macquarie. That was very awkward for Dobson. Crofton. Tried to find Crofton's opposite number there in Cheryl Ambus, and we're going to see another substitution here at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Going off is Layla Sharp in the number 10. You can hear the encouragement there from Paddy Cheryl Ambus. This could be Annika Driscoll. Just got to make sure we see the number. It looks like Annika Driscoll. We'll just have to confirm that when